day 2 of the ILCA European Championships for the Masters. We're here in a busy boat park and I'm a bit worried, Steve, about my camera. Steve Cockerill, probably somebody who needs no introduction. I won't embarrass myself by saying how many national championships and how many classes you've won in, but tell us what attracts you to the ILCA and specifically the Masters sailing.
Because it's very, very competitive, and because there isn't really a Masters scene in any other class in quite the same way. I think the Tazars have an age where you both sail, you add the ages of the helm and the crew together, but it's not really a Masters scene in the same way, not the same numbers.
And I think that's one of the things that you're racing against people in your same division. And I just looked that there are, real blasts from the past. Can you tell us a bit about your division and how your race went today? Races?
Well, there's a guy, and I have to admit I can't remember his name, or I can't pronounce it anyway.
I guess I know who you're talking about.
Okay, maybe. And he's won all 3, I think, today. But I had 2 close seconds. No, actually one close second, 1 not so close second, and something else because I was deep in the 3rd race. I don't know what happened.
You don't know what happened in the 3rd race, or?
No, I think I just didn't get a good lane out the start. I had no height. Maybe I got some weed. You never know. And when I came back on port, I was being crossed by some of the, shall we say, less quick sailors. And so I was literally, should we say, in the bottom 10.
Wow, because it was really hard when that current increased. It suddenly sort of put everything up a bit closer.
Yeah, I had a great race from there. Taking all the chances at the marks, going downwind, trying to pass boats. It was. If I end up counting it, that was a hell of a lot of points off in that race. When you actually are in that position where you think I'm in 45th or something, you think, well, I can lose a lot of points from a series if I race really hard now. So I tried doubly hard in that one.
Yeah, I mean, one discard series, it's not your best races, it's your worst, which dictate your final outcome. I mean, that's something which is always true. But what's your plans for tomorrow? Because it looks similar conditions.
Well, I'd like the race officer to give the starboard end a little bit more bias, because he seems to love a port end bias on a left-handed track course.
He's maybe protective as his committee boat. It might be his boat.
I'd figured that maybe he hadn't paid some sort of damage deposit on his committee boat and he was just going to send everybody away from him. We all know he want to start the port end anyway, so it was kind of strange.
And that pin end boat somehow seems just really long when you're trying to get past it.
God, yeah, and it seems to hedge you as soon as you go towards it. It's like, it's horrible down there. So I think I'm maybe not going to be quite so dramatic on the port end. I'm going to go for my 3rd up or something and try and have a clean start. There are some good transits. Nice thing about the committee boat with a nice mast and the port end boat with a big tall mast, you can sail a long way away from the starboard end and sight the masts, and you can see the features and go, that's a even when next to the committee boat you're looking through people's windows to see a transit, but if you go far enough away you get some great transits on.
I was about to say what happens when the fleet's over, but then I guess it's a moot point.
Yeah, well then you just hope you're not seen, don't you? And that's the worst thing, isn't it? When you can't see a transit and you go with everybody else, that's the most horrible feeling. But,
I think the last race was probably the only one which had a clean slate. I think there was people over in every race up to then, and that could be deciding.
It could be. I mean, the guy who's winning all the races, he's got to slip up once. You got to hope he slips up once. I did nibble him on the run in the 2nd race. I actually got an overlap on him he was pushing me out to the left, and I actually got an overlap on him. But he obviously broke the overlap as soon as he headed up again, and then he sat on my wind all the way up the next beat. But as I would have done to him. But he's very sharp. I just wish I'd done a bit more ILCA sailing this year.
But I mean, you tell us about your background. You did a hell of a lot of sailing. What would you have said, the mid-90s?
Yeah, I did the trials in 95, and I literally was a Europe sailor before that. And John Derbyshire came up to us, who was the head of the British sailing team, and he said, "Steve, get a laser." He actually said, "You're probably the most professional amateur we have in the country at the moment." So he said, "Come on, do it." And so I put lots of weight on. I got up to 85 kilos, sailed a standard rig. And then pretty much as soon as we lost weight jackets, suddenly it wasn't fun anymore. And I just couldn't compete in a breeze, although I could podium in most qualifiers in a standard rig if it wasn't windy. So I got a radial and joined you.
I was going to say it was the other way around, but I saw you enjoy.
Maybe I just thought that this is stupid. I can't be condition driven, and I like sailing the laser and I like the people, and I thought let's give a radial a go. And it seemed to me that as soon as I did, you did, and then we had the whole fleet joined us. It seemed it was at the beginnings of a mass exodus from standards to radials. So,
Well, I hope the same will happen with, for example, female masters in the 4.7s. You just need a nucleus.
There's so many ladies who struggle because it's a physical boat, the radial, as you know, and yeah, well, I'm broken today. I am, but and girls can keep sail a radial at the top level for maybe 4 years, and then they're broken as well. So the 4.7's a much nicer boat.
And just, it would be remiss of me not to briefly comment on Rooster, because I think you're moving to support the class a bit more.
Yeah, we're definitely want to become more heavily involved. Thank you. We want to be more heavily involved in the ILCA class, and there are rumours that we may be supplying boats in the future and parts too. So, but that's kind of an aside from our main business, which is clothing. And rope and carbon and all that sort of stuff. Actually, it's the hardest thing on the planet is trying to tell people about the products you've got, because so many people don't even know the product that you shouted about 15 years ago, or 10 years ago, like the spring plate, and the guy goes, "Wow, this is amazing." I said, "It's been out for 10 years," and that sort of thing. Just you've got to kind of keep telling people the products you've got out there. And I've been testing a lock-on toe strap this week, which is, I think, a breakthrough in toe straps, which is super grippy, and I'm sailing with much tighter toe strap than ever before. Maybe I'm just not hiking as hard, but it feels so easy. I can hike off my toes. It feels great. So yeah, lots of products to develop.
Brilliant. Well, we'll watch this space, and we need people like you in the fleet, Steve. Thank you very much.
Cheers. Thank you.